Hey guys, as I mentioned in my last video, I wanted to do a video to share my thoughts on the NFL's recent rule change regarding how many times in a season teams can wear their alternate uniforms. So, before, teams were only allowed to wear their alternate uniform for up to 2 times a season. Now, in recent years, with the launch of the Color Rush uniforms league-wide, teams were allowed to have an alternate uniform for a third game, because what they would do is they would wear the alternate uniform for 2 games and have a Color Rush uniform for a third game. But now, as of this current 2018-19 season, from now going forward, teams can now wear an alternate uniform for up to 3 times a season. Plus, they can, for a fourth game, they can wear their Color Rush uniform on top of that. So now, instead of only being able to wear an alternate look for up to 3 times a year, teams can now, if they wear both an alternate uniform and a Color Rush uniform, can wear some type of alternate uniform for up to 4 games a year now. So, in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on this change. But first off, I want to go back a few years to 2015. Now, back in 2015, about 60% of the way through the 2015-16 season, things got interesting because 8 of the NFL's 32 teams unveiled Color Rush uniforms to be worn on Thursday nights. So, when this was launched, Jacksonville, Buffalo, at the time St. Louis, Tennessee, Tampa Bay, Carolina, Dallas, and the New York Jets unveiled these special alternate monochrome uniforms where everything from the jersey down to the shoes were all the same color. The only thing being different would be the helmet because of the NFL's one helmet rule, where a team is not allowed to wear more than one helmet for any uniform throughout the regular season or throughout the entire NFL season. Like, for example, say there's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll use them as an example. Excuse me. So with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, before they used to wear their throwback uniform for 1 or 2 games a year. Now, thanks to this NFL one helmet rule that was introduced about 5 or 6 years ago, teams like Tampa Bay and New England can no longer wear their throwbacks. So I actually believe this is part of the reason why the Color Rush uniforms were introduced in the first place, because teams were no longer allowed to wear multiple helmets, which means that, for example, teams like, say the Buccaneers and the Patriots, they couldn't wear their throwbacks any longer. Same with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, gorgeous 60s throwbacks that they used to wear on Thanksgiving. I miss that uniform. And remember when the NFL, I think they had like a 50th anniversary of the AFL or something. I remember, I think it was within the past 10 years where multiple teams, like even the Denver Broncos, for example, unveiled and wore special throwback uniforms. Now teams cannot do that. Now it's just one helmet for all of their uniforms all season long. One helmet, that's it. So, with the Color Rush, when it came in, all these teams, these 8 teams, including the Rams when they were still in St. Louis, just before they moved to Los Angeles, they all unveiled these monochrome, all one-color uniforms. Then for the 2016-17 NFL season, all of the remaining NFL teams that did not have a Color Rush uniform, well, folks, they now had a Color Rush uniform as well, So this meant that all the teams, even the teams that did not unveil a special jersey, had some type of monochrome uniform. Whether it's the Kansas City Chiefs wearing all red with their regular home jersey by wearing red pants, socks, and shoes instead of wearing red jerseys with white pants, which is a great look. And instead of, like, say, getting the Tennessee Titans light blue uniform, which they've got new uniforms as of this 2018-19 season now, they used to wear their powder blue or navy blue jerseys with their white pants, where with their Color Rush uniform, they'd wear their light blue jersey with their light blue pants, eh? Then you'd have teams like the Colts that would just wear their blue pants with their blue jersey. But now, with the Color Rush, once all the teams had Color Rush uniforms, this created a new situation where teams still wore their alternates for up to 2 times a year, and they had a third game now for the Color Rush uniform exclusively on Thursday nights. However, there was a new situation for some teams, where now teams like Jacksonville, Seattle, Denver, the Washington Redskins, the Cleveland Browns, and the Cincinnati Bengals, and at the time the San Diego Chargers, just before they moved to Los Angeles, they all had, them and a few other teams had now had a 4th uniform. Was that a few other teams? I'm just trying to think here because... Okay, yeah, because... Sorry, I was just thinking out loud there. Sorry, guys. Because there were teams like, say, the Falcons that were wearing their throwbacks, they've brought them back in recent years, which is good. The Houston Texans, the Arizona Cardinals, etc. But now there were teams that now had a 4th uniform. In Seattle, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Bills too, because they do still wear their white throwback uniform once a year, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, by the way. But I know that this coming Sunday, as of this video, they are supposedly wearing their throwback uniform again, which is good. I like that uniform. But anyways, now for the past couple of seasons, teams have been having 4 uniforms where, say, a team like, let's see, who's a good example to use here? Okay, I don't want to use Jacksonville because their gold Color Rush uniform, which is now gone, thankfully, was awful. But a team like the Chargers, for example, they would wear their powder blues, which should be their main jerseys, not their alternate jersey, for 2 games. Then they would have their Color Rush for 1. Well, now, teams can wear an alternate uniform for up to 3 times a year. However, there's a new interesting little twist to this rule as well. If there's a team like, say, the New Orleans Saints that do not have a 3rd jersey, well, guess what, folks? They can wear their Color Rush for up to 3 times a year. Teams like New England and New Orleans and the Giants. And even the Pittsburgh Steelers, whose Color Rush uniform, in my opinion, is not too bad. So multiple teams now can wear their Color Rush uniforms for up to 3 times a year. Another team that this is really good for is the Cleveland Browns. Because, in my opinion, since they've switched to their current uniforms, I feel that their Color Rush uniform is vastly superior to all their other uniforms as of right now, eh? But the thing is... Actually, wait. That's something I could be wrong on. I'm just thinking about the New Orleans Saints, because I know in the past season they did wear their black throwbacks for 1 game. So maybe they are considered their throwback alternate. I could be wrong. But anyway, for teams such as New England and for the Saints and even the Giants too, whose throwbacks are quite nice as well, in my opinion, those teams can now wear those Color Rush uniforms for a maximum of 3 times a year. For example, the Los Angeles Rams this season have decided to wear their all-yellow gold Color Rush uniforms for 2 games. The New Orleans Saints have already worn their Color Rush throwbacks at least a couple of times already this year. And, okay. I'm just trying to think if there's any others. Also, the Detroit Lions have even worn their all-gray Color Rush uniform for a couple times this year, even though I do wish we would have at least got to have seen their black Color Rush uniform for at least one game. But the thing is, this rule is interesting because now you've got teams that have, some teams like Los Angeles, okay, the Rams no longer have a fourth jersey because they've retired their navy blue jersey, in case anybody didn't know. But teams like the Chargers and the Seahawks still have 4 uniforms. So now if teams want to, they can wear their Color Rush uniform for, say, 2 games and wear an alternate for 2 games. And you know what, guys? In my opinion, I actually think it's really good that the NFL has relaxed the rule a little bit. I think this is now... I think 3 games a year for an alternate uniform is plenty enough. I think I like it because now teams get to wear them a little bit more, but they're not. But I like how tasteful. I like that the NFL did it in a tasteful way, in a sense that now teams can still wear their alternates, but we're not going to get to see them wearing an alternate all the time, which I think is good. I don't like it when teams can just wear one jersey one day, one jersey the next, and then another jersey and another jersey. It's a pet peeve of mine with some sports like basketball and college football as well, where sometimes you'll see a team in like 4 or 5 different uniforms throughout the season. And the thing is, they don't just wear them for special occasions. They switch between these 5 or 6 or so or more uniforms all the time. And I like what the NFL's done, where a team can wear an alternate for up to 3 games and have a 4th special game for the Color Rush uniform as well. Or they can wear their Color Rush for 3 times. I think a rule change like this is actually not too bad. I like that it gives teams a little bit more freedom, but not too much, which I think is just right. But speaking of the Color Rush, this rule change is now very interesting as well, because the Color Rush, or the Thursday night Color Rush uniform requirement, is no longer there. Teams no longer have to wear Color Rush uniforms on Thursdays. And I'm going to share my thought on that in just a sec here. So now, in case you're wondering, just like this past Monday with the game between the Rams and the Chiefs, the Rams could now wear that all yellow gold Color Rush uniform anytime they want. I mean, and so far this year, there have been multiple teams that have still stuck with wearing their Color Rush uniforms on Thursdays, like the Cleveland Browns, like the Pittsburgh, such as them and the Steelers, and I think the New Orleans Saints did it once too. I could be mistaken on that. I know that the Packers did recently against Seattle, and surprisingly, Seattle did not wear their neon green or action green Color Rush uniform, which I gotta confess, I don't think it's bad once a year. But it would look a hell of a lot better if they could actually wear their navy blue pants with it. That would be great. But anyways, now that they've gotten rid of the Color Rush requirement on Thursdays, I'm going to share my thoughts on that too while I'm doing this video, But the thing with the Color Rush, now that it's no longer a Thursday night only thing, I actually don't like that. And my reasoning is because I really liked the idea of there being one specific day every week where you get one Color Rush game a week. That's it. You don't get these different games where like one game here with Detroit wearing their Color Rush uniform and the Rams wearing their Color Rush uniform in this game and another team wearing their Color Rush jersey uniform on this night, and so on and so on and so on. I actually really liked the idea of there consistently being just one Color Rush game a week on Thursdays. I thought it was the perfect thing to do. And I really don't like the fact that the NFL has changed that. Because do I necessarily want to see a team like, say, I don't know, the Detroit Lions playing a team like the Green Bay Packers in their Color Rush uniform? Hell no. I'd rather see the Detroit Lions in their white away uniform against the Green Bay Packers home uniform. Monochrome gray versus the Packers classic uniform is not as attractive in my opinion. Another example. Say the Indianapolis Colts in all blue on a Sunday against a team like, I don't know, the New England Patriots. I'd rather see the Colts in a royal blue jersey with white pants than monochrome blue versus white and navy blue. Or another example, like say the Buffalo Bills in all red against, like maybe the Minnesota Vikings in all purple against, I don't know, the Philadelphia Eagles in their white away uniform. I'd rather see color rush matches on Thursdays. I liked that they were just exclusively on one night, and I really don't like the fact that they've changed that now. I believe there was even a Sunday night game earlier this season where the 49ers wore their white throwbacks, which I think it's great that they've brought them back, against the Rams in their all monochrome gold and yellow color rush uniform. Like, imagine if for that game, and let me just check one thing here. I just want to see one thing. So, say in that case where the Rams were in San Francisco and the 49ers were wearing their all-white throwbacks that they brought up for this year. Imagine if the Rams were wearing their royal blue throwbacks against the 49ers throwbacks. Would that not have been a gorgeous uniform matchup? I mean, if they wanted to have the monochrome uniforms on a Thursday night, I think that's fine. Because that way you know every week exactly what you're getting when you watch that game. Now you never know what you're getting. Okay, maybe that's not true if you see the team's schedules for uniforms, but, I don't really want to see a matchup where, for example, the Browns are in monochrome brown against, I don't know, the Oakland Raiders. Like, I'd rather see a team like the Browns wear their regular brown jersey or their white jersey with white pants and the Oakland Raiders in black and silver. Or their brown jersey with white pants against, I don't know, another good example, the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, I'm not a big fan of monochrome all the time. And I feel like now with the color rush, and this is another example too, like what about an AFC West matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs, where say the Raiders decide to wear their throwbacks against the Chiefs in all red. I mean, if they wore, or any jersey that the Raiders have against the Chiefs looks great. I mean, both teams have phenomenal uniforms, in my opinion. But say the Raiders are on the road and they're in Kansas City. I don't want to see the Chiefs in monochrome red. I want to see them with their regular beautiful red jersey, red helmet with white pants and red socks against the Oakland Raiders in their regular white or even their throwback white uniform with silver pants and their classic silver helmets. I mean, I'm just not a fan of the NFL doing away with the Thursday night only rule for color rush uniforms. I think that kind of stinks. I think it really stinks, in my opinion. But another thing, too, and speaking of the color rush, a huge pet peeve of mine since the day it came out was the fact that teams can't wear contrasting pants. And you want to know something else, too. Here's another thought from me. I mean, if they've decided, okay, we're getting rid of the color rush uniforms requirement for Thursday nights. Well, if the color rush Thursday night thing is dead, why can't you change the rules so that teams like the Jets can wear white pants with their Kelly green jersey? I know they're getting new uniforms next year, but at least in the time being, that would be a gorgeous uniform. The Buffalo Bills in their red color rush uniform with white pants instead, or the Denver Broncos with navy blue pants with theirs, or the Seahawks with navy blue pants with their color rush uniform. How about the New Orleans, or no, forget I said that. Actually, no, never mind. Now I remember what I was going to say. I was thinking of two things at once. But what about the New Orleans Saints white color rush throwbacks with gold pants? Would that not be a gorgeous uniform, even though their current one is gorgeous the way it is? Or if they could wear gold socks instead of all white. Another one that drives me crazy is the Los Angeles Rams color rush uniform. I absolutely love that jersey. I love the gold and yellow with navy blue numbers and navy blue striping on the arms. Or horns on the arms. Imagine that with navy blue pants. Would that not be gorgeous? What about the Atlanta Falcons color rush uniform? Imagine that with white or black pants. Would be amazing. Even the Los Angeles Chargers with white pants with their royal blue color rush uniform. Or even the Washington Redskins with burgundy pants with their all gold color rush uniform, which they've never worn, and rightfully so. But if Washington decided to wear burgundy pants with that uniform would be doable. Even the Cleveland Browns. I mean, it's a shame that they can't wear white pants. Or another example, even the New England Patriots. Why the hell can they not wear their regular or wear silver pants? Silver pants with their color rush uniform. That would be a phenomenal looking third jersey. And, even the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they could wear white or gold and yellow pants with theirs. I mean, that would be amazing. But, it just... I mean, I know I can go on forever. Actually, I can't, but I mean, I know I could go on further about this, but the thing is, it drives me crazy. If they've gotten rid of the color rush requirement for Thursday nights, you might as well at least let the teams wear contrasting pants and make their most of these teams' color rush uniforms look way better. Another thing, if they're not going to do color rush Thursdays anymore, you know what I think would be awesome? Throwback Thursdays. Well, hopefully that'll catch on, and maybe someday the NFL will relax their stance on the one helmet rule so that we could get the Patriots in their throwbacks, or I don't know, maybe the Los Angeles Rams in their white throwbacks with royal blue and gold on them against, I don't know, how about the Seattle Seahawks in their royal blue throwbacks? That would be a beautiful game. Or, I don't know. Another example, just trying to think of a good one off the top of my head, but, maybe another example of a nice throwback Thursday game could be the Dallas Cowboys in their 60s throwbacks against perhaps a 60s Chargers throwback, or, I don't know, maybe even... I'm just trying to think of a good one. Maybe an old Denver Broncos throwback or of some sort. I'm just using these as examples. Like maybe a late 80s Detroit Lions throwback against perhaps a white 60s Cowboys throwback or something like that would be beautiful. I mean, I'd rather see Throwback Thursday than color rush uniforms whenever teams want to wear them. That's for darn sure. But anyways, you guys, that's my thoughts on that. I think it's really good that the NFL has actually added an extra game for alternate uniforms. I'm totally cool with it. As long as some teams like the Buccaneers and the Titans aren't wearing their color rush uniforms a whole bunch of times a year, I think this rule could be really good. I mean, I love the idea. Sorry, I just bit my tongue there. But I really love the idea of seeing, like, for example, the Saints color rush uniform 3 times a year. Or the Cleveland Browns in their color rush uniform a couple times a year with maybe their third jersey a couple times a year as well. Or another one, say, just trying to find another example here, but the Chargers maybe wearing their royal blue color rush uniform for 1 game a year and then maxing out on their powder blue throwbacks not throwbacks, but their powder blue third jersey for a third time every year. I think something like that is awesome. I mean, but as I say that, there are some color rush uniforms I'd rather see less, like, for example, the Buccaneers color rush, the Panthers color rush, in my opinion, the Chiefs. Also, definitely the Vikings and the Ravens, And thankfully, the Jaguars got rid of that mustard gold one. That was good. Their new uniforms are much better than what they replaced overall, in my opinion. Even though I do miss the teal numbers on their away jersey, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And of course, as always, take care. And as usual, bye for now.